2019 has come to an end. Today we close out another decade. As time rolls by, it is a reminder to live, make the right decisions, and just live in the moment. Do not wait on the right moment to fulfill your dreams. Make the plan and just execute. Whether it's that burning desire to go back to school, buy a house, or even as simple as getting some well-needed rest, just do it. You owe it to yourself, don't blame time. On today's show, we hope to inspire you to fulfill those goals. This is Jamaica Magazine, and I am Theodore Henry. Let's start the show.
Motorists, when driving on the road, here are some simple reminders. Look out for and extend courtesy to all road users. Give plenty of room to pedestrians, especially in wet weather. Drive slowly. No bother wet them up. Slow down when approaching a pedestrian crossing or school, and always be prepared to stop. Remember, a school zone is a 30-kilometer zone. Cut your speed. Drivers of large and slow-moving vehicles should always keep in the far left hand of a dual carriageway. Keep it simple. Drive left and pass right. These are just simple reminders of your road duties. Drive safely.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, December 31. The Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, is sending a strong warning to licensed firearm holders against participating in gun salutes. The FLA says the illegal discharge of a firearm is an offense under the Firearms Act. As such, licensed firearm holders will face penalties if they're caught participating in any form of reckless or irresponsible activities during the festive season. The FLA urges licensed holders to be responsible and keep their weapons safe, stating that it should only be used to protect life and property. A licensed firearm holder should never discharge their weapon unless under imminent threat. According to the FLA, failure to adhere to the rules and regulations of the Firearms Act may result in the firearm being seized by the police, prosecution, and immediate revocation of the firearm license. The National Works Agency, NWA, says it has completed rehabilitation of the Davis Cover Bridge in Hanover at a cost of $16 million. The NWA's Western office says the repairs were needed as sections of the bridge had sunken, resulting in an uneven road surface that posed a danger to motorists. Sections of the Copperwood roadway were also upgraded under the contract. The project forms part of the NWA's comprehensive approach to improving road safety along the Montego Bay to Negril leg of the North Coast Highway. Several sections of the highway have been patched and rehabilitated, while repairs have been undertaken on the Mosquito Cove Bridge to create a more even road surface. The Jamaica Fire Brigade, JFB, is urging residents to exercise caution during the festive season in order to prevent fires. Public Relations Officer Assistant Commissioner Emilio Ibanks says the holiday period usually accounts for an increase in the number of residential fires. As at November 30, 2019, there have been over 1,000 occurrences. Mr. Ibanks says a common mistake is cooking while tired, which may lead to persons falling asleep during the process.
We've seen cases where persons are awakened by the smoke or the heat, and most times, unfortunately, it might be too late at that time. So if you're feeling tired, get some rest and then you start cooking.
Mr. Ibanks advises against leaving pots unattended while cooking.
Because again, one of the things that can happen is, my grandmother used to say that the devil can blow a breeze. That happens, the stove goes out, but the gas is still running. You go back inside, you don't know for what period of time the gas was actually there running, and then you go in and you start the stove back. Mm-hmm. That can lead to an instant explosion. Yes. So just don't leave cooking unattended.
Right. Mr. Ibanks was speaking on the JIS Current Affairs program, Get the Facts. Still on safety measures, with a lot of food preparation taking place during the festive season, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is urging persons to avoid cross-contamination.
This can cause persons to get foodborne illnesses. One of the most common ones really is persons use the same utensils, surfaces to prepare their raw meats, and then they prepare their vegetables on that same surface. So we encourage persons to clean right?
Yes.
There are 4 easy steps that we
Yes.
allow persons to remember: clean, separate, cook, and chill.
Registered dietitian at the ministry, Debbie Otti Golding, was speaking on the JI's program Get the Facts. Mrs. Otti Golding says perishable foods should not be out of the refrigerator for more than 2 hours, and leftovers reheated in portions based on the need.
But what persons need to be mindful of is that you don't want to reheat more than once, right? You don't want to reheat
You shouldn't reheat your food more than once.
No. And when you reheat, you want to reheat thoroughly.
And finally, the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, will again host fireworks on the waterfront downtown and fireworks on the bay at the Otrius Bay Beach in St. Anne. The family-friendly events are a celebration of the development work of the corporation, its subsidiaries, as well as partners, and will showcase Jamaica's best by way of live entertainment, food, craft, and a kiddies village. Fireworks at both locations are free to the public except the VIP area in Kingston. The event starts as early as 3 p.m. at the Kiddies Village, then at 7 for the street party, 9 p.m. for the stage show, and 12 midnight for the spectacular fireworks. And that's it for JI's News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
About 29,000 Jamaicans are blind. Another 80,000 are considered visually impaired. Glaucoma. Eye diseases arising from diabetes and refractive errors in children are among the major causes of blindness and visual impairment in Jamaica. Get your eyes checked if you have not had an eye exam in the last 2 years. Visit your eye doctor or call the Jamaica Society for the Blind Vision Center at 876-927-6757 or 876-927-6759. Take care of your eyes. You need them to properly carry out your daily activities.
2020 is not here yet, but there's already talks of Vision 2020, a play on perfect eyesight. If you're a member of the blind community and hearing this message, you too can live your purpose. Up next, a man who has not allowed blurred vision to stop him from achieving his goals.
I think I realized that I had a vision impairment maybe in my early childhood schooling when I attended basic school in Stony Hill and realized that I was quite different from all the other youngsters. It has its own range of effects. There are psychological and social effects. You start wondering if you are different and how different you are. And then you realize too that your pattern of interaction with students and with adults was different. People were always a little tiptoeing around, not wanting to say certain things. And during early childhood primary education, I experienced a lot of failure as a consequence of the vision impairment. And that, I am sure, shattered my self-esteem in those early days. I think as I got older, then there were other issues about the whole business of denial and going through anger periods, and till I get to the point where I finally accepted the idea, which was way up until I was probably about 2021. I currently am retired from Ministry of Education as an education officer. But since retirement, I have been doing a lot of workshops and seminars involved in a number of issues, looking at change management concerns, special education concerns, and perhaps a part of the passion, looking at boys' education. I discovered that the boys were considered to be the troublesome ones. And a lot of people were concerned about the behavior because it was impacting their learning. I use a lot of unconventional ways to try and get the boys to learn, getting them involved in practical, active kind of learning situations, and found that it worked a great deal. But I also found out that if you respect them and you treat them well, no matter how offensive they may be, you can reach them, you can teach them, and you may even preach to them. So currently I've now expanded that to even start working with some boys, looking at boys on a mission. A colleague told me about that, so if they're on a mission, then we want them to show interest, to do their best, to pass their tests, and in the end, to big up them chests.
Dots 1 and 2, right? So you press that.
One of the things that I have learned as a person with a vision impairment, and the lessons I would want to share with other persons who have vision impairment, especially children, is that perhaps the most important thing is self-determination. Having the ability and the capacity and the drive to go and to do the things that you want to do in spite of negative thoughts, in spite of failure, in spite of all of those things. I also would want to say to students with vision impairment that you have to be good at advocating for yourself. So self-advocacy skills is very, very important. Know what you want. Ask for it. Also make sure that in asking for it, we do so with a lot of respect and a lot of understanding of others. Nothing is impossible to those who believe in God. And I have found that that philosophy has worked for me all the way. I exercise faith in God, and I would also want to commend that to persons with vision impairment, that they need to have a source that they're going to anchor themselves to. And in believing that nothing is impossible, I have been able to culture a very positive attitude to life, and that positive attitude has worked for me, and I am confident it will work for others.
We are children, and we have rights. We have a right to be
protected,
provided for,
and included. Don't beat me up, don't belittle me, and please don't molest me.
I am under 13. I should not be working for a living. That is child labor. It is illegal.
Stop leaving me alone. I am too young to provide for myself. I need your guidance.
Protect our nation's children. They have rights too. To learn more about children's rights, call or visit the offices of the Child Development Agency.
Now is the time to build house. Now is the time to buy house. Now is the time to make that critical investment in your life.
And the government of Jamaica has made home ownership a reality for many Jamaicans. Through the National Housing Trust, 5,321 housing solutions have been delivered in 2019, and scores more were built at 9 projects under the Trust's Guaranteed Purchase Program. This project allows the Housing Trust to purchase units in housing developments conceptualized by developers. And since May 1, NHT mortgages have seen a 1% reduction in their interest rates. Prospective mortgagers have been accessing loans of up to $6.5 million. Income bands have been expanded for more mortgages to access home grants. The construction loan limits on NHT lots have been increased, and an intergenerational mortgage scheme has been introduced to allow more Jamaicans to own homes.
We're putting in place all the components for a safe, sustainable, and affordable community.
Over at the Housing Agency of Jamaica, contracts have been signed and work has started on several housing developments across the island. They are the 1,650-unit Catherine Estates at Bernard Lodge in St. Catherine, Rhine Park St. James's 754-unit development, and the 623 units at Shooters Hill in St. Catherine. The housing agency has also issued 434 land titles in 2019.
It's the manifestation of hope and commitment of this government to you and to the people of Jamaica. Our duty, our responsibility, our desire to see home ownership for all of our citizens.
And through the work of the Jamaica Mortgage Bank, citizens can access homes at 8 housing projects across the corporate area. The bank provided $1.5 billion in loans to developers investing in these projects.
We are going to do whatever is necessary to stimulate the market and to continue to attract developers.
Government has also tabled a new housing policy that's aimed at creating a suitable environment to bring 15,000 affordable housing solutions annually to the market. And what's more,
next year we have another program that is going to come that will rapidly increase the number of housing solutions coming to market. What we will do in Bernard Lodge, what we will do in St. Thomas and in other areas of the country will rapidly expand housing. And then we have to now reclaim the communities in Kingston to make them attractive again for people to live in.
For more information, contact the National Housing Trust and the Housing Agency of Jamaica.
Better roads are now making it much easier to travel through sections of the island. Video surveillance technology on our road networks are providing a second eye, and the aviation sector is soaring to greater heights. Plus, a prosperous voyage was led aboard our marine industry.
This, Mr. Speaker, is positive news for the government and people of Jamaica.
The Minister of Transport and Mining continues to shape a new Jamaica. Sit with us on Tuesday, January 21, 2020, as we bring you its 2019 achievements.
The work of the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation is currently in the spotlight, as it's the Beauty with a Purpose project of Miss World 2019, Tony Ann Singh. The foundation has for decades helped many young mothers complete their education and get the requisite skills needed to take care of their child. As we look forward to 2020, let's show love to the next generation by taking cues from the Women's Center.
At the age of 14 years old, I found out that I was pregnant. It was a very devastating experience.
I didn't have anyone. Everyone was just looking down at me. And I really thought that it was the end, you know?
Just like these two, teenage pregnancy often seems to signal a daunting battle for many girls in Jamaica. But that frightening vision is becoming less and less of a reality, thanks to the efforts of the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation.
I applaud your selfless service. What started off 40 years ago as a response to the high level of teenage pregnancies has become a national program with 10 different centers offering quality education.
That applause from the wife of the President of Kenya, the Honorable Margaret Kenyatta, came in early August on an official visit to Jamaica. Under the banner of the Ministry of Gender, the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation has served approximately 46,000 adolescent mothers in 4 critical areas: academics, which includes education and skills training; outreach, for those who cannot access the main centers; adolescent mother health, where they provide health services for beneficiaries; and counseling on family life education. But that's not all.
The Women's Center program for teenage mothers began with 6 clients right here. And in 40 years, the program has served more than 46,000 adolescent mothers and has expanded to include 7 main centers and 11 outreach stations across the island.
I am Kinshasa Johnson, and I'm a past student of the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation. At the age of 14 years old, I found out that I was pregnant. It was a very devastating experience at that very moment. I had to come to terms with the fact that I was not only a child anymore, but I was going to become a parent. Now, at that very moment, I signed up to become a student at the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation. I started attending the center when I was 14 years old, and at that time they had a bus fare program here, so young ladies who weren't financially able to find money to come to school every day, we would be granted a bus fare to come to school the following morning. So I had my baby and I was home for approximately a month, and I came back to school because I had the grade 9 achievement test. Now, hearing that I passed for a traditional high school was a bittersweet moment because I didn't have it financially, so even though I was very close to my dream, it seemed very much far. And it was at that very moment that the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation decided to assist me financially to go back to school. The center opened many, many doors for me, and one of those doors was to be a child delegate at the it was the Child Development Agency at that time. It's now the Child Family and Protection Services. And I was a child delegate where we assisted the CEO and the executive management team by telling them about matters that affect children. And it was there that I started working as a summer worker. And so I say this to say that we were young, and I don't view it as a mistake. It's a part of our journey, and it is a part of our lesson, because today I can say that I have become a totally different person because of my son, because I know that I have to pave a path for him that is clearer than the one that I had, and I have to assist him in every way possible. And I could not have done that without the help of the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation.
I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, and it was just so devastating. And I was just 15, and I'm saying to myself, how am I gonna maintain myself? How am I gonna maintain a baby? So when I got here, I met some really amazing people who inspired me so much. At that point, I didn't want to hurt myself anymore, and for the first time in a long while, I started to smile. And I went home and I started writing in my journal, and I said to myself, I can make it. I'm gonna make it out of this.
So let me congratulate all you girls for your unyielding resilience and courage, for taking on the responsibilities of being young mothers, yet recognizing the importance of education in unlocking your future, for refusing to be left behind.
40 years ago, teenage pregnancy meant a dead end for many young girls. It was the guarantee of a future of misery, a life of poverty, exclusion, and dependence. The pregnant teenager's education would come to an end, and her job prospects would disappear. That was before the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation was established.
In spite of all
We've come to the end of the show. Catch us again next year. Yes, we will have a show right here on this station on New Year's Day, just for you. Until then, please send your feedback on the show to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. You may also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry, wishing you a Happy New Year.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.